Hey everybody, welcome to the Weather Breakdown. This channel focuses entirely on European weather, whether it's weather observations, forecast models, or large scale patterns to understand what's happening and why. Let's take a quick look at where things stand right now and where do we go from here, shall we? Now, when we look at our observations, we have a low pressure area here and another one there with a nice frontal structure extending like that. We have a low pressure area in the northeast of the domain and a high pressure area over Scandinavia. If you look to our south, we have a low pressure area over the Mediterranean with a band of precipitation going around it. And to its south, we have some active thunderstorms. If you now correlate what's happening in the upper levels, we see the 500 millibar height lines moving like that, meaning that the 500 millibar jet is rather south. There's also a branch off here of the circulation towards the west, giving rise to this low pressure area. And we also have a branching off in that direction, giving rise to this anticyclonical circulation sustaining this high pressure area here. We also have a trough here due to the cyclonical circulation, and we have another driver here where this leads to a low pressure area. All these systems will gradually start to move towards the east, making so that these high pressure areas and these low pressure areas will also move accordingly. So with the observations now out of the way, let's move to our weather chart and see what we can expect from here. So when we look at our weather charts here, we still see the exact same scenario as in January, the Atlantic bringing in low after low after low, bashing the European mainland. If you go forward in time, you will still see these lows as they bash on the mainland. If you go forward in time, it's already 14th of February. Go forward in time, here's another one. You go forward in time, and then you see a buildup of a ridge here. As you can see, there's a buildup of a ridge here, which might sound the alarm of the end of the Western circulation. But we need to see in the future how this holds up because it's already the 18th of February. So let's see if there is some consistency in the models. We have this regime here of elongated high pressure over pretty much the mainland of Europe and extending far beyond it, which means that this might mean the end of the Western circulation as the lows will get diverted towards the north and potentially towards the south. We still have to look if these signals hold up over the runs and if there is some consistency even between the American and the European model. For now, let's look at it and take it in. When we go back and we turn on the precipitable water, you still see here the beginning of the forecast period, 8th of February. We still see here this band signifying the atmospheric river with the high precipitable water values still elongated and still oriented towards the Iberian Peninsula. If you go forward in time, you still see that band bashing the Iberian Peninsula until the 13th of February, where it finally lets off. You can see that happening if I go backward and I go forward. You see that from the 13th, there's finally an intermezzo here. There's no more massive precipitable water values reaching the Iberian Peninsula, meaning that the rain will finally start to subside, which is good news for the people in the Iberian Peninsula. Now, the precipitation signals seem to corroborate this story because if we draw here the region of interest and we go forward in time, look at the precipitation signals over Spain. Right now, the 8th of February here. If you go forward in time, you will still see the Iberian Peninsula being affected by precipitation until we reach the 13th of February, where finally there seems to be a pause or a halt in the precipitation over Spain and the Iberian Peninsula as well, which is very welcome news for the people living in that region. Now, with the west circulation still in play, what does that mean for winter? We still see the exact same idea, low after low after low, bashing the European mainland with impulses after impulse of warmer air invading the European mainland as well. What will happen? You will see that this boundary of cold air will keep getting pushed east and northeast because of that. I will leave the annotations there. If you go forward in time, you will see that happening, impulse after impulse after impulse, while the cold air recedes even further and gets even pushed further back and further back as time progresses. So according to the GFS model here, winter does not have a chance in the next coming 2 weeks. It's even getting worse and worse and worse. Just look at these temperature values here. These are like 15 degrees here, pushing into Europe from the southwest. So winter, forget it. And if winter wants to make an entrance again, I mean, it's already the 18th of February. So if it wants to do anything, the time is now. But as we can see, nothing is happening. So we can safely say that winter will have a hard time invading the European mainland. Okay, there might be a small intermezzo of some cold with some wintry precipitation, but deep winter, we don't see any sign of that in the weather charts as of now. So with this, we've arrived at the end of our video. I hope you liked it, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.